With early voting underway, all eyes in Travis County now focus on the contested primary race for district attorney. Democratic incumbent Jose Garza faces a Democratic challenger, Jeremy Celestine.
KXAN's Avery Travis is joining us now for a look at why the votes rolling in right now are so important.
Right. The winner of this race will face a Republican opponent, Daniel Betts, in November. But in the historically Democratic stronghold of Travis County, the results of this primary will likely determine the county's next top prosecutor. Meanwhile, the role of the district attorneys across the state has been under a microscope and heavily criticized over the last few years, with a law passing last session targeting DAs who refuse to prosecute certain offenses. Here, differing views on how to keep the community safe are really at the heart of the race.
Have y'all voted yet?
As early voting begins,
My name's Jose Garza. I'm your district attorney.
so does jury selection in the trial of two former deputies charged with manslaughter in the 2019 death of a man named Javier Ambler.
These are among the most difficult cases in our office. They are more hotly contested than capital murder cases. They have more resources behind them than capital murder cases.
Travis County District Attorney Jose Garza says holding law enforcement accountable will remain a priority if reelected. Over the last 3 years, he's most proud of increasing the number of sexual assault convictions compared to the prior administration, creating programs to prevent gun violence, and addressing other root causes of crime without relying solely on incarceration.
And I saw victims being ignored. I saw lenient plea deals on serious cases, people getting out of jail on low bonds when they didn't need to, and people getting hurt as a consequence.
Garza's opponent, Jeremy Celestine, left his job as a prosecutor in the Travis County DA's office after 15 years, shortly after Garza took office. Since then, he says he's been alarmed to see dozens of other longtime prosecutors leave the office as well.
I tried murders, sexual assaults, child abuse cases, domestic violence cases, and there is an art to it. But it's something that you can't just come in and say, hey, we know how to do this now. And we're seeing that. It's just inexpert prosecution of cases.
Celestine says he wants to repair what he calls a broken relationship with Austin police. He's also worried about a backlog of more than 6,000 cases and wants to see more cases taken to a jury. But Garza points to the coronavirus pandemic shutting down courts for nearly 2 years and leaving behind a nationwide labor shortage. He told KXAN 80% of his attorneys have at least 5 years of prosecutorial experience and that they've been working with judges to chip away at the case backlog.
I'm incredibly proud of our record. Since we started trying cases again, we have tried 16 murder trials and lost 1. By comparison, the last administration lost 5 murder trials during their term.
And now, Avery, we have seen the TV ads already airing in this race, so that begs the question, how much money is being spent in this race?
Yeah, it's a good question. And we've actually already seen a lot of chatter, conversations about who is donating in this race. Now, Garza has been highly critical of Celestine, calling the majority of his supporters wealthy Republican donors. But we dug into campaign finance reports and found some of his top donors have donated to GOP candidates in the past, while others have donated to both Democratic and Republican candidates in past and present races. Celestine told us he believes that shows a good makeup of who supports him and that he believes the DA's office should really be less political. Now, looking at the numbers at last filing, Celestine had nearly $215,000 on hand for spending. Garza has just over $150,000.
Avery, thanks very much. Del Valle